Peter Cosgrove, you're a selector on this Eire Og backroom team and the big county final again. You were here last year, you're back for more. You obviously enjoyed it last year.
Yeah, I always enjoy it. Anytime you win something, you'll enjoy it because they come few and far between. So we did enjoy last year's one. But after the fun was over, we had to go back down to business again this year because you can't dwell on last year. To start that over again and start from scratch. So we're back again this year and hoping for the best.
Yeah, you had quite enough progression, I suppose, in the group stages and that. So, you didn't set the world alight, and probably that was purposely. I don't know, but you just seem to be coming good now at the right time. Last Sunday, like you just put away for a fin.
It certainly wasn't planned. I mean, we go to give our all in every game that we play, but I suppose the first game was a relatively tight one against Breckens, and after that, maybe kind of uneventful wins, but wins nonetheless. Maybe not setting the world on fire, but trying to do better every day. Now, to be for others to judge whether we have done better every day. But as long as we're winning, I suppose we're happy enough.
Well, that's it exactly. And back in the final, you were a great player yourself in your day. How do you find when you hung up your boots, like to get involved now with Paul and lads?
Yeah, it's different. It's a different type of pressure and a different type of enjoyment, I suppose. When you're a player, you're probably a little bit more selfish and you're trying to get yourself right, and that's all you're thinking about, and obviously thinking about your team within that, but trying to get yourself right for the team. When you're in a backroom team, you're trying to think of everything and think of not just 15 players, 30 players, which is very difficult to do, and to keep everybody happy because everybody puts in the same effort. So that's the major difference. Footballer, you're thinking of yourself. As management, you're trying to think of everybody.
Yeah. But you think of a selector, you think, well, he's just sitting down picking the team and keeping an eye out on what's happening on match day or whatever. But there's a hell of a lot more to that to go than that.
But see, we all have voices and we all have opinions, and it's trying to marry those voices and those opinions on the training field. And I suppose knowing when to make a contribution and maybe knowing when to step back. So I think we have a good balance. It seems to be working so far anyway. So it's certainly not just sitting back. It's about being involved, but maybe not to step too far in and get too much involved.
You have 28, 29 young men. That takes some management. It's not just everybody has their own different sort of qualms or whatever, and then you have to manage a panel of subs and all that, and everybody will want to be playing on the day and all that. So
that is definitely the hardest part. I think Miss Shawnee said it at our last training session before the semi-final, and pay tribute to all the other guys who maybe weren't getting as much game time because they're equally important. It's just that unfortunately when you start 15, bring on 5, and it is difficult for guys who don't get on. That doesn't mean that they're any less important than the guys that start. It's just that's the rules. 15 and maybe 5, and that's it.
No team has ever won a championship without a full panel of players. And what happens on the training pitch can be as important as what happens on the match day.
The guys that maybe aren't getting as much time are certainly driving on the guys who are maybe starting every game, and that's hugely beneficial to any team to have a strong panel.
Yeah, the players are probably isolating themselves a little bit from the furrow around town, but I'm sure you're well aware of what's happening around town and the likes of PG Kelly's and the Diamond Bar and all them places.
There's a good buzz around. People are optimistic, I suppose, but that's the nature of sport. No matter where you are, people always want to look at the positive side. There's nobody going around saying Jesus they won't do it. Everyone's saying they're going to do it, but it's the oldest cliche in the book. But it's one game at a time, and it has been all year for both codes, and that's what it's going to continue.
Yeah, it's a cliche, but this is a county final. It's just such a big occasion, I suppose, and a way different from last year, because last year there was real pressure on you to try and deliver that cup to Innis, but this year it's about holding on to this. But
and it is a different pressure. Last year there was more excitement because we hadn't been there in a while. It's not to say we're less excited, but there's probably a small bit more composure this year. Is that we have been there last year. It's in our recent memories of what it's all about. So it was a bit more of a novelty last year, whereas this year we're just back where we were. Again, nothing achieved yet. We're going to face a mammoth task against Simon, and we just have to be ready for that.
Yeah, you have Shawnee, a great man. Shawnee Buckley was great inter-county footballer. With Limerick, played in the Munster final. Victor O'Riordan, Tom Russell and Rory O'Brien. They're all really great guys.
Yeah, great club man. Shawnee's obviously new into the club the last 2 years, and a different voice and different opinions and stuff like that. Sometimes is a great thing. the rest of the lads you've listed there, Eire Og through and through, and more so than Tom, like, you know,
Yeah.
and he's been there. When I started, Tom was maybe just finishing up, like, but he'd been a stalwart, and all the Russells have been for a long, long time. So, yeah, I think it's great for continuity. I know that maybe when I was starting off as a young guy, there wasn't the bank of history maybe we've built up in the last 25 years, which is something when I started off as a 19-year-old playing senior football that we didn't have. And now all of a sudden with 25 years of winning the odd one, losing the odd one, you know, there's a bit of a bank of memories to look back on and experience to draw on.
Yeah. It's a big year for Eire Og as well, in the fact that they're 70 years. 70 years, the Eire Og club, like, it was always a club, and then it's obviously, like, going back, it was, it's a huge, you know, preparations going on now for celebrations and all that as well, like, so everything is really happening.
It's all happening, but I don't be too negative. The wheels can come off very quickly, like, so we got to keep our eye on the ball a small bit, and just try and look at the job in hand for ourselves. I know the rest of the boys will also, but yeah, we can't get too far ahead of ourselves, because we know we're going to face formidable opposition, and we just have to remind ourselves of that every day, you know.
And Peter, as an innocent man, when you come in the gate there, I know when I come in, you see all these young lads, you can hear the balls, you know, football, hurling, it's just a massive... the car park was full when I came in at 6:45, so I couldn't even park.
Saturday morning, you can't get parking for love of money. There's kids everywhere, which is fantastic to see. Fantastic for the club, but it's fantastic outlet for the kids as well. And anytime young lads or young girls, for that matter, are involved in sport, it's a great outlet. Like, you build great friendships, and they last a long, long time. So it's fantastic for the club. It's also fantastic for the community around us as well.
Yeah, I don't know if people realise really what you know, the likes of yourself bring to a club, and what a club means to young players growing up. There's not a young fellow out there who doesn't want to be a Kieran Russell, or who doesn't want to be an Aaron Fitzgerald, or one of the hurlers, you know. So
no, that's right, and we saw that last year after the county final, the excitement of the kids. We got a send off here in the morning of the county final last year. All the kids came out to support us, and that's huge for any kid to have someone to have an idol to look up to, you know, especially a local person that you might see, you know, locally rather than see them on TV. I think that's huge, like, and it's something that we're trying to, I suppose, develop within the club, and the last couple of years seems to be working. So hopefully in future years we'll reap the rewards for that as well.
Absolutely. Do you get nervous before games as a selector?
Oh, absolutely, way more nervous than
the players.
As a player, you feel like you have control,
a bit of power,
you can influence the game. As a selector, I'm not a good spectator.
You probably have it done before you get there, like, kind of thing.
It's all these thoughts in your head of what could happen, go right or go wrong, and you've no control. You have to hand it over to the players and across the line. Now, to be fair, we've a good bunch of lads, with good mixture of youth and experience, but no, as a player, you feel like you can influence the game. As a selector, I certainly feel powerless anyway once the ball is thrown in. Yeah,
well, more nerves to you as a on Sunday. It's got to be a great county final. I think, you know, I think in time we're going to bring something big to the game, and I'm no doubt about what Eire Og can bring, like, or will bring.
In Simon, look at you know the lads like Joe Quinlan up there as coach, and Burdos there as manager. Like, if the team are in any way a mirror image of those two guys, they're going to be formidable, because they're great characters, great footballers. So we're expecting a huge battle from this time, and I mean, county final award ourselves, like, we don't have any more right to be there than them. It's going to be a battle. We've seen them in the games they play. They don't give up. They're great character. They're great players all over the field. So it's going to be a battle. We have to be ready for that.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Like, I'm stuck in the middle in Kilmona there, so we'd be. I'd have to, because I came to school here and I lived in this town for a long time, so I have a great graph for Eire Og, and I have a lot of friends in this time, and so I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope I'm sure it'll certainly be a great occasion. Peter Cosgrove, thanks for coming out and talking to me. Really enjoy. I'd love to get the insight of, like, the guys like you that do a lot of work, and nobody really, you know.
It's a team effort for everybody, so we're just looking forward to it.
Great stuff, Peter. Thanks a million.